Episode 102 of Dragon Ball Super. Let's get into it. The episode starts off with the last one kind of ended off, with 17 and 18 parting ways with Goku after their fight with the Pride Troopers, with Goku going to search for Jiren for that big fight that's eventually going to come in this tournament, though, not yet, obviously. However, as he's doing that, Brienne de Chateau, Rebrianne, whatever you guys want to call her, the magical girl of Universe 2, the leader of the Kamikaze Fireballs, calls everyone as it's finally time for Universe 2 to get into the mix big time here. They do this kind of routine type thing where Helios gets involved, the god of destruction of Universe 2, as do the fighters of Universe 2, and they begin to transform. However, during their transformation, and I absolutely love this, 17 blast them out of it. This is a bit of a kind of a shot at the joke of characters letting other characters power up or transform instead of stopping them. You had Vegeta letting Semi-Perfect Cell transform into Perfect Cell back in Dragon Ball Z. You had Goku letting Frieza go up to full power in the Frieza arc. It's all over the place with this thing. But Brian, Sanka and Sue all run up to 17 and they start to berate him. Goku berates him. Even Toppo comes running out of absolutely nowhere just to berate 17. He's like, they were doing a pose, why did you stop a pose? A pose is justice. Because that's just Toppo's character. But 17 just like, okay. And he just sits down for a bit and lets them fully transform. And it's actually very funny because the second time we see this transformation sequence is exactly the same, almost frame for frame, as the first one, like the one we just saw before 17 stopped them. Which I must say is actually an incredibly smart use of bank animation for the guys over at Toei. A lot of people didn't like it. They're like, why is this taking so long? It shouldn't take so long. But I think it's a very smart way for Toei to use bank animation. And of course we all knew Ribrianne's transformation from the earlier build-up segments of this Tournament of Power Universe Survival arc was going to be used in this tournament anyway. But they finish off their transformation as they transform into Ribrianne, Kakunsa and Rose. Not to be confused with Super Saiyan Rose. The Universe 2 Kaioshin is a bit of a pervert, just like old Kai is as well. He loves them. However, Universe 2 gets right onto the attack, with Ribrianne using this attack very, very similar to the one she used in the build-up segment, except this time when she uses it, she starts chopping up this massive heart into like smaller heart-shaped bombs that explode with this kind of gas that sort of hypnotizes our enemies. It's a very interesting move, covering the entire arena. However, not everyone is affected by this gas. None of the Universe 7 guys are affected it. We see a couple of other people, like Jiren isn't affected by it. Kaba doesn't seem to be affected by it. And even, and this is a big one, Roshi isn't even getting affected by this. Gohan then tells his squad of Tenshinhan, Roshi and Piccolo, split up, we're fighting independently now, which means they are no longer having a team effort, which may possibly cause some problems for, at the very least, Roshi and Tenshinhan in the future. We then get this absolutely alpha scene where Jiren just smacks this heart away with no problem, and it almost looks like he's about to one-shot Ribrianne right out of the sky. However, just before he does that, Vegeta pops the bigger heart and gets rid of all the kind of gas using a ki blast, with Ribrianne telling Universe 2 it's time to fight as we go to a commercial break. We come back from the break with a fight between Ribrianne and Vegeta, and of course we get the animation from the opening with Ribrianne versus Super Saiyan Vegeta. This was to be expected because we got Bergamo versus Goku. It's absolutely no biggie though, I'm fine with it. Then Ribrianne uses this kind of spinning ball attack, kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, towards Vegeta, and as he goes to punch her, he jumps away because he says she's just so disgusting, I had to instinctively dodge. And as collateral damage, we see Piccolo versus Jiresen from Universe 10, and Jiresen becomes the collateral damage, putting Universe 10 down to 3 fighters remaining and giving Ribrianne her first elimination of this tournament. We then see Goku fighting Rose as she uses this kind of knockoff Wolfang Fist technique where she starts trying to kind of attack very fast. However, this time as she attacks, she gets stronger, faster, her attacks become a lot sharper, and as she attacks so fast that she creates ki orbs that she then starts firing at Goku. However, the catch with her is that she has complete control over her ki and can stop and manipulate ki blasts at will. We then switch to what is the big main attraction of this episode, with Android 17 versus Kakunsa, the kind of beast animal magical girl, but she's slashing away at 17 and she even bites him at one point, but you know, it's doing absolutely nothing to 17. She then starts rapidly hitting 17 by rebounding off the rubble of the arena. She then pounces at him. However, 17, he's not gonna go down this easily, you guys know this. He uses his barrier, almost like a kind of fly trap, to catch Kakunsa. He then throws her up with the barrier and smashes her off the stage. However, just in the nick of time, Vikal, the flying woman of Universe 2, saves Kakunsa, rebounding her and smashing 17 right into a rock. Vikal and Kakunsa have this kind of emotional love thing going on, but 17 is still not affected by her attacks at all. 18 comes up and asks, you know, do you want help? You seem like you need help. And he's like, nah fam, I got this. And he gets serious. First of all, he goes right for Vikal, smashing her down and then hitting her almost as fast as Kakunsa was hitting him, smashing her not off the arena, but right back up to the stands, giving her a ring out. That's savage as fuck to start off with, giving Universe 2 their first eliminated fighter of the tournament and leaving Universe 6 as the only universe left with 10 fighters still on their roster. A back and forth goes on between Kakunsa and 17 as Ribrianne tries to jump in, however Kakunsa wants to take 17 on by herself, as they constantly clash as 17 uses a ki blast to almost like push himself up, and this is something I didn't think anyone could have thought of. Kakunsa goes for him, however 17 literally latches onto the sundial, the massive sun light thing up in the sky, almost using it as like a pseudo Taiken type thing to blind Kakunsa. As they both lunge at each other, 17 uses a ki blast in his hand to hit Kakunsa with this massive blast, knocking her off and giving 17 his second elimination of this episode and of the tournament. As 17 lands, he faces Ribrianne, with her anger overflowing at the defeat of Vikal and Kakunsa and his interruption of their transformation. The two square off in episode 103 with 39 minutes remaining in the Tournament of Power as the episode ends there. But with the episode out of the way, it's time to get into the overall thoughts of this episode. I must say, man, this episode is extremely polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. I've seen a lot of different complaints about this episode in the community, and honestly, there's complaints all over the board for this thing. People don't like the magical girls, people thought it was cringy, people thought the transformation was too long, even though it took, Goku a whole episode to go Super Saiyan 3, but, that's none of my business though. But I don't understand it, honestly. This episode, well, yes, I do kind of agree that the first half of this episode was very odd. It was not very Dragon Ball, I have to admit. It was not. It was something we've never really seen before in Dragon Ball. And honestly, I would argue that's a good thing. Having Dragon Ball branch off into these new types of ways of tackling situations is great for the series because it allows it to use different methods in the future, instead of having someone just scream for 20 minutes of the episode and then transform in the last 5 seconds. You kinda get me? But I think it's very interesting. But the second half, a lot of people have a different opinion about the second half. The second half was fantastic. 17 is an MVP, man. He is the MVP of this episode. He is so badass. I absolutely love 17. After this episode, he is easily my second favourite fighter of this tournament thus far. Probably behind Khalifa. Khalifa is my favourite of this tournament so far. I absolutely love her and everything she's done so far in this tournament. 17, man, when he gets serious, he is Super Saiyan Blue level. I do not care what you guys say. He is Super Saiyan Blue level when he gets serious. I mean, even in his episodes, he was against Super Saiyan Blue and he was going pretty even with Goku then. But honestly, this was just a fantastic episode. It was very consistent art-wise, very consistent animation-wise. No problems I noticed there. The music placement from Sumitomo in this episode was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. Everything about this episode was pretty damn good if you ask me. It's a solid 9 out of 10 episode for me. Not a 10 out of 10. We're going to get to that pretty damn soon, I would think so. But that's all really I want to say for the overall thoughts. Great episode, very polarizing in the community, but nonetheless I love every single second of it. I was entertained every single second of it. Let's move on to the previews. But now with the overall thoughts out of the way, it's time to get into the previews with episode 103 entitled Gohan, Be Ruthless, the Showdown with Universe 10. Oh boy, we're getting a very Gohan and even Piccolo-centric episode this week. I'm sure you guys have been waiting ever since episode 88, episode 90. A lot of you guys have been waiting, and well, here it is. So let's just dive right into it. First off, right off the bat, Gohan is the one narrating for this preview, so that's already proof enough that Gohan is the main man of this episode, as first off we see him fighting against Botamo, and unfortunately for him it seems like Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, Beerus, Whis, Kaioshin haven't really spread the intel amongst the team, because he doesn't know Botamo's ability transports any attacks or anything like that to an alternate dimension. We then switch to Goku with a bunch of floating key orbs around him. It looks a lot like Piccolo's Hellzone grenade, however here he's still fighting Rose, and she looks hella pissed because Kakunsa got eliminated. And speaking of which, we get a quick shot of Ribrianne and 17 lunging at each other, where we then get a very exciting return, as the birth of Ultimate / Mystic Gohan in the tournament is here. He has the bang, he has the aura, he is here. We then get 3 shots. We see the green guy from Universe 10 called Opne, we then see Piccolo, we then see another guy from Universe 10 called Riverroot. We then see this extremely odd shot of Gohan fighting someone, but there's this blue, green and red thing. It almost looks like a standout of JoJo's, but it might actually be a defensive tactic from Opne, because later in the previews you do actually see a close-up and it is Opne that he's fighting. We then see Kus, the Angel of Universe 10, looking worried, and well, she has every right to be. We then get 2 shots of a major upcoming conflict in the next few episodes, as we see both Hit and Dispo of Universe 11, the kind of Beerus looking bunny guy, squaring off against each other. We then get some shots of Goku, Peru and Helles, and then this crazy shot of Gohan versus Opne, except he has the multiple coloured clones and it looks very weird, man. It looks very weird. However, we get the title Gohan Be Ruthless, the Showdown with Universe 10, with a shot of Gohan just like staring into the void, standing in this crater. Looks like it's been made by a Kamehameha or some sort of ki blast, with Piccolo onlooking. Now what I think is happening right here is Gohan has just eliminated Opne, and that seals the erasure of Universe 10, and this makes Gohan guilty as all hell due to just, you know, his character. He gets very guilty by that sort of thing. That's what I'm predicting for this episode, with the final shot being of Gohan in his mystic form up in the air, charging a Kamehameha as the previews end there. However, that wraps up this episode discussion and preview discussion. It's a very good episode next week. I can't wait for Gohan's true return to form in this week's episode. It's going to be fantastic to see him kicking asses and taking names. However, if you guys like this video, please leave a like and a comment in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to be the next universe eliminated, and tell me why in the comment section below. Please share this amongst your friends, and if you could please hit the bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get a notification every single time I upload. That way you'll get every single piece of content